beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let no other hold me down. Letting the days
And that's exactly why this is my theme song, because I find myself often saying, how did I get here? And it's usually by accident, you know. And here I am, Butch Maxwell, here in the chair, along with producer Lola Miller, right here on the Watchdog Afternoon Drive. Looking forward to it. This is great. I'm glad to be here. It's boy, it finally feels like I don't know, like it's on the edge of winter. And in fact, it's going to snow tomorrow, possibly snow tomorrow. Yeah, it's not for sure, you know, but I think it says 40% chance, something like that. It's going to be chilly. It's going to be down into the under 30 tomorrow night. So it's going to be kind of rough. So, but don't worry, because by the weekend it's going to get a lot warmer, and that's when I'm going to take care of the mountain of leaves I have in my yard. I have one tree, but my neighbors have all of these oak trees that love to dump all of their leaves right as towards the end of fall, and then they blow across the hillside, and my yard, or the way my house is positioned, it just scoops it all up, right up. Yeah, give me those leaves. And they're not my leaves, but I have to take care of them. So, all right, you know. I've done various things. I got the leaf blower thing, and that's a major pain. It's gasoline, so it's smelly, and it's like and it poops out all the time, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm sure it's something wrong with me, definitely. It's not probably the blower, but it blows, you know, and not in the good sense. So, you know, I could go out and mulch with my mower, and that's fine, but now they're just piled up so deep, I can't imagine doing that. So I don't know. I guess I'll be filling landfills. I have no room to compost anything either. I've got a very small lot in a rural area where everybody else has these huge yards, and I get to enjoy them. They look beautiful, and I don't have to mow most of them. I don't have to mow much, but the little bit I do, it's a giant leaf catcher. So that's my woes. But other than that, it's a beautiful day. I'm just, got to enjoy it. Every day is a gift. I've got my gift today is that I get to talk on the radio, to share a little time with you. We've got a couple of things on my agenda. One of the nice things is I really don't feel like talking about politics much. I think, it's kind of over. I mean, we are going to go there a little bit, but, the elections are essentially over. There's still a big one in Georgia. To determine 2 Senate seats, and which will that will amount to a lot. But that's some distance away, and we can't vote in that election anyway. So, you can send money to whatever side you want to see win. But, that will be something. I guess really the big thing is right now is COVID. So I do want to talk a little bit about that, especially how that is affecting us in the local area, and what we may be able to look forward to. But I've also got some other stuff I want to talk about too, including some Netflix series that I've been watching. Maybe you have too, Lola. But I want to talk about some of those things. And there's some entertainment things coming up. And so we've got a lot of things to talk about. A little bit later, I've got some guests coming in. We're going to have at 3 o'clock, Ron Scott of the Wheeling YWCA will be my guest here. And at 3:30, we're going to have Lori Jones live and in person, and Jessica Ryan will be calling in, and so we'll continue the conversation then. And at 4 o'clock, live and local music returns here once again. It's been my tradition most weeks, other than last week because it was right after the election. I wanted to get a guest in to talk about, an expert guest, not my very good friend Bert Feroli.
Don't pick on
No, I'm not. Love Bert. I love Bert with all my heart. Just disagree with him on awful lots. And I've gotten more comments about Bert Feroli's 2 appearances on this radio program than anything else. And not overwhelmingly positive, but
It is Bert.
it is Bert. That's
is
right.
Bert.
That's right. So we'll just take it for grain of salt with that. But anyway, yeah, I've got live and local music, and I've got singer, guitarist, and songwriter Jeremiah Welsh. Has he ever been on, Lola,
I
in the
don't think
past?
so.
Okay, then I'm going to bring a new one in. I
Yeah.
think I've had a few debuts here, but each week on Mondays, I have been trying to bring in a local artist. If you got any suggestions, then hit me up on Facebook. Let me know. Pretty easy to find on Facebook, so you can send me a message and say, "Hey, I'd like you to try this, listen to this artist, and maybe I can help, give you a venue because heaven knows there's not much you can do." Oh, and I wanted to tell you about something else today too. So I'm just sort of laying it all out here. Last weekend was my anniversary weekend, and Vera and I went away. And I don't believe I told you about this last week, Lola, because there was just so much else going on. But one of the places that we visited was the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in Weston. Have you ever been there?
No, but I have always wanted to go.
It is fascinating, and it's well worth a Sunday drive down to take a tour. There are tours in various lengths, and we went on the 90-minute sort of the 4-floor tour of this place. But it's fascinating. It was called the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum when it was originally commissioned in the state of Virginia to be built in Weston, which was then in Virginia before the Civil War. And it was the work on it. It's a huge, massive structure today. Now, the part that was built in the Civil War is only a very small part of what it is now. I think it runs about. I think they said it was nearly a mile long, and it is the second largest sandstone building in the world, next to the Kremlin. The Kremlin is the largest, so it's the second largest, and it's just amazing. Parts of the old lunatic asylum have been refurbished and restored to, I think it's a 1920s kind of an era. So you get a historical perspective of what it looked like back in the day. And we were on our guided tour. We had someone who was dressed like a nurse of that era too, with the nurse's hat, et cetera. Yeah, she was not a nurse, but she gave us the tour, and it was really amazing. A lot of course, ghost stories and other types of tours that they offer are architectural tours because the architecture is fantastic. There's also like a very short tour. You get basically one floor, so if you don't have much time, you can do I think it's about a 45-minute tour. And then there are actually, of course, there's a haunted house, and because there are all kinds of legends about, not just legends, but actual facts where a lot of people lost their lives there. And you get pretty graphic descriptions of how the mentally ill people were just tortured, and sometimes, usually with good intentions, but I don't know, maybe not. The restraints, I'm not sure where you could ever, find that to be anything other than convenient for the captors. We've got this person in this asylum. People were committed for all kinds of reasons, up until, in fact, according to this tour guide, and I have no doubt that she's pretty close to correct here, clear up until the 1970s, men in this state could have their wives committed for no reason at all. If they wanted to have an affair with somebody else, where they could have their wives committed to Weston, And at the it was only called the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum until about 1902, and then it changed to the Weston, I think, Medical Hospital or something like that. It didn't even say it was mental health or anything, but that's what it was. Lobotomies were performed there, which is really a grotesque treatment for mental illness. And and again, at the time, this wasn't out of pure evil. I mean, we would look at it that way from this perspective. But at one time, it was how people were treated. That was state of the art for mental illness. So it's incredible. It's disturbing, but it's history, and it's still there. It's not being erased. It's there and available for tours. So my recommendation, and kind of an unexpected one, but I don't know. I really would like to get around more of the state of West Virginia. There's so much I've not seen, especially in deep southern and eastern parts of the state. They've just been sort of less convenient. But have you ever been to the Cass Scenic Railway or any of that
No,
over there?
we have,
Yeah.
truthfully, we haven't done much except drive through it,
Yeah.
on our way to various places.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to Martins Ferry, and
Harper's.
Harper's Ferry.
Harper's, yeah.
Yeah, I can go to Martins Ferry every day. And I've seen some, after Masterpiece is over on PBS, they'll have like 10, 15 minutes of extra fill space,
Right,
know?
yeah.
And so they'll run these little spots on different places, and so many of them just look so intriguing.
Yeah.
Not because they're grandiose or anything, but because they're small and they're very quaint, and there's been several places I've thought, geez, I'd like to go spend the night at a B&B, and get to do stuff. But unfortunately, work schedules
Yeah.
between everybody in the house never work out.
Yeah,
Never.
that's true. Yeah, and that happens with a lot of us. It just sort of gets away with your best intentions. But I don't know. Maybe it's my age, but I'm starting to think in terms of bucket list stuff. And one of them is there's lots of places I want to travel, and I normally think of far-flung places, but there, there's a lot of really interesting history and sights to see right here in the state of West Virginia, which is kind of amazing. Speaking of West Virginia, though, the governor spoke up on Friday, and he has issued ultra mandatory mask order now. Whatever ultra mandatory does, like you have mandatory, and so there's ultra mandatory. I guess
It falls between mandatory and
and
Uber.
and Uber.
Mandatory.
Uber mandatory. Yeah, basically he's saying that everybody should wear masks anywhere you are indoors with other people in public places. And that doesn't mean public property necessarily. It means places where the public would go, anything other than private homes or offices and things like that. So, you're walking into any place where anyone else goes, you should be wearing a mask. Now, there's no, as far as I know, no law enforcing this or anything. This is just a guideline, but it's a start. At least it's leadership taking a stand, which got to admit that's something more than say the president has done.
Well, his golf game's gotten better.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So, there are a lot of school closures. Thanksgiving Day through December 3rd. There's going to be no schools in the state, and winter sports are delayed. And if you haven't already finished your fall sports, then you can finish out your season. But
No, you don't.
you don't, right? Yeah.
Park and Central got knocked
They
out
got
of the
knocked-
playoffs.
Okay. Yeah. I knew it was over here in Wheeling. So.
The only thing I'm going to say about this, and I kept saying this all last week, the kids on the teams, the kids themselves, did this on their own. They bubbled themselves.
Yeah.
And there was never any reports of any kids on either team being positive. Now, I guess some have been quarantined for like 7 days or whatever it is because somebody else that they came in contact with had tested positive. But no kids had. They're giving out all these free tests all over the counties, all the counties.
Yeah.
Take 60 of them and go test the football team. And if nobody turns up positive out of those, let them play. You don't have to have even your 1,000 fans in the stands.
Right.
But when you get down to the playoffs, these kids have worked all year to get where they're at. And when there was, in my estimate, there was an easy way of dealing with
Yeah.
it, and that was test the teams. You know, if
Exactly,
your
yeah.
team shows up with one, well, then, that's
Yeah.
a different story.
And
But-
there are tests now, not as accessible as they should be, but there are tests now where you can get results very quickly. So, yeah, it shouldn't.
Yeah, on Monday, they should have tested them all for the games on the weekend. Then the test results would have come in on Wednesday. And if the kids are all following protocol, which they have, because they knew how important it was
Right.
to follow protocol.
Right.
Which you can't say that about adults.
No, probably not.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Just go to, any store and,
And
you'll see.
you'll see a lot of anecdotal evidence of that. You're
Yes.
right. You're absolutely right. And although there's nothing, nothing surefire, that seems reasonable. All you can do is take reasonable measures. So you don't know if they're exposed after Monday, say between Monday and Wednesday. But as you say, if they operate by the protocols and stay in their bubble, then there's every reason to believe that it should be safe. So. If you're interested in getting a COVID test, there are lots of opportunities. They're running. Oh boy, I got last week's schedule out. I think. Okay, let me double check this. Yeah, I've got last week's schedule. Well, never mind. I'll pull up this since I opened my mouth about this. I thought I had this week's schedule.
Well, I know Marshall County's health department is running them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Thursday, but the hours are a little different on Thursday. So just call the health department if you want the hours, and they can tell you when to come.
Now, Marshall County has moved to a red advisory.
Yeah.
And so that's critical, folks. If you live in Marshall County, then hunker down by all means. Take those extra measures. Wash again. Avoid crowds. That's the biggest thing. Just avoid crowds when you're, especially in closed rooms and things like that. I do have that schedule in Ohio County, starting Monday, November 16th, running through Saturday, November 21st. The Wheeling, Ohio County Health Department is going to hold free COVID-19 testing clinics at all three of their normal locations, which are at the Valley Grove Volunteer Fire Department and the Warwood Fire Station. That's Station 9 on Richland Avenue, and also at the Wheeling Island Fire Department. Station 5, that's right there on Wabash Street. So those are places. These are all places you can go. All you need to do is take an ID or some kind of proof of address. If you don't have a photo ID, then a driver's license, et cetera, then just take a bill that's been mailed to you, because they're just going to want to verify your address, et cetera. There aren't any residency restrictions. You don't even necessarily need to be a resident of Ohio County. And if you're under 18, though, you've got to have a parent or a guardian along, and that's about it. If you want any more information on this, you can always call the Wheeling, Ohio County Health Department at 304-234-3682. And right now, again, Marshall County is in a red zone, which is I think that's the highest, right?
Yeah.
And then Ohio
Orange is
is
below that,
orange
then gold, yellow, and green.
Yeah, Ohio County is in orange, so
Yeah.
we're right there, folks. This is something that we've got to take serious. Now, the good news is we talked about this last week. Pfizer came up with a vaccine that has a great, apparently 90% efficacy, which is fantastic. Well, even more recently than Moderna has come up with a vaccine that they say is 94.5% effective against coronavirus. So, that's just about as good as it gets, according to Dr. Anthony Fauci. There are certain, in fact, advantages to this new one, the Moderna. It works a little bit differently, but without getting into whether it's RNA or mRNA, et cetera. and what the genetic recipe is. Basically, one of the practical advantages is Pfizer's drug has to be kept at minus 75 degrees Celsius. And most places, warehouse pharmaceuticals aren't really equipped to deal with that cold of storage, whereas Moderna's vaccine is kept at minus 20 degrees, which is similar to other vaccines like chickenpox and things like that. So it means that there will be more readily available freezers for Moderna's style of vaccine. Both of them have to, in both cases, it takes 2 doses to be vaccinated. And, but Moderna's vaccine can be kept in a refrigerator for, in that, at that very extreme low refrigeration for 30 days. But Pfizer's doesn't last that long. It's only got a shelf life of about 5 days. So the more, the better. It's all good. If we keep getting the flu vaccine, the efficacy rate, that means how effective it is. The flu vaccine typically is somewhere around 50% or something like that, and we routinely get these, and they help somewhat. But in this case, this is looks like it's a lot better pharmaceutical. So, hey, we've got that to look forward to. And when will this happen? Well, most of the experts are saying don't get too excited. You might see the first wave of these in late December of this year, and this will go to the highest priority people, which are, of course, the first responders, the medical people on the front lines, but also other highly vulnerable populations, the elderly, and so forth.
Well, what they're talking about is inoculating all the people that work at nursing homes.
Yes.
Because that's how it's getting into nursing homes.
Yes.
So if you can create that shell around it by inoculating the people that work there, and unfortunately you still wouldn't be able to go visit your loved ones necessarily, but at least it's going to keep them safe.
Right.
That's how it's getting into nursing.
Yeah, it's the workers, and yeah, that's right. So they're going to have a plan. We'll have a new administration by the time this really starts to roll out. Although I would hope the current administration has some kind of plan, but I've been hoping a lot of things over the last 4 years that don't happen. So I don't know. Hey, it's about time to take a little break. When we come back, I'm going to give you the Watchdog Sports update here, what we're going to be covering over the course of this week. And I do want to talk to you about some fun stuff, some entertainment stuff that's coming up this week, and some stuff you might want to stream, some things that I've personally sampled and recommend or don't. So that should be kind of fun. So that's what we're looking forward to. So you are listening to Butch Maxwell hosting on the Watchdog Afternoon Drive.
Are you struggling to make payments due to an unexpected financial obligation or loss of income? Are you receiving calls from debt collectors? Are you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what steps to take next? Then you need the experience and expertise of attorney Tom McIntyre and his staff to help guide you through these temporary hardships. Want to hear more about how Tom can help? Then call 877-456-4155 and receive a free copy of Tom's ebook, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Tom's ebook covers many questions people have about bankruptcy and includes interesting stories about people who tried to avoid filing and people who have filed for bankruptcy. We think you'll be surprised to learn some interesting facts about bankruptcy. Call 877-456-4155.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Throughout the Ohio Valley, back to school is looking different. Each day, parents, teachers, students, coaches, and administrators are finding solutions to situations that are unprecedented. All of us at the Highlands appreciate everything you are doing and are here for the items you need. Visit hitthehighlands.com for the current guidelines and updated contact information of our retailers and restaurants.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy!
Yeah.
You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You got it.
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go, 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all,
Yep,
you probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the best time to visit your Toyota dealer and to save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of. Like an off-road ready 21 4Runner, a 21 Tacoma, or a 21 RAV with available all-wheel drive. All with $1,000 cash back from Toyota. Take $1,000 back on a 21 gas model Corolla or $1,500 on a hybrid. Or a Highlander with seating for 8 and take up to $2,500 cash back. Take $2,000 cash back on a sporty new 2020 gas model Camry or $3,000 on a hybrid model Camry. Visit buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals, to check out inventory, build your own Toyota, and to find a dealer near you. All to help make buying or leasing your next Toyota easy and affordable. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers exclude TRD Pro models and hybrid offers vary. See your dealer for details. Toyotathon is on, so hurry, go see your Toyota dealer today. Offers end November 30th. Toyota, let's go places.
Oh, there's something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. Governor Jim Justice says he's heard the criticism about his enhanced mask mandate. He says a lot of the rhetoric, some saying he's trying to squash personal rights, is not true.
We need to stop listening to this noise out of people that just want to take your money, to buy their campaign rhetoric, or want to absolutely just be relevant. Silly.
Justice spent the first 20 minutes of his media briefing today addressing the mask issue. You can read more and see a video of his comments right now at WVMetroNews.com. The enhanced mandate requires masks to be worn at all times in public buildings, even if you can achieve social distancing. West Virginia Education Association President Dale Lee says the governor should order remote instruction for the rest of the calendar year for students across the state. Members of the state's coronavirus task force, including state coronavirus czar Dr. Clay Marsh and state health officer Dr. Ayn Amjad, say there would be issues with that.
Nothing can be off the table, but I have talked with several school nurses who also say that young children are safer in the classrooms if protocols are followed.
The governor has announced the first 3 days of the week after Thanksgiving will be remote learning for all to cut down on any possible spread caused by the holiday. Power is back on in the Saberton section of Morgantown after a house fire earlier today threw off several thousand customers. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The outbreak of COVID-19 cases has worsened at the Stevens Correctional Center in McDowell County. There are now 254 inmates that have tested positive and 28 staff members. Stevens is located in Welch. The Big 12 Conference announcing today it will exercise its 6-day window before it sets a time for the football game in Morgantown coming up between WVU and Oklahoma. That's scheduled for the Saturday after Thanksgiving, November 28th, so no game time until next weekend. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Hi, this is Chris Lawrence from the Metro News News Team. I have all the important regional news throughout the morning right here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Listen and stay informed right here.
That's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an airplane, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane, listen to yourself, churn world serves its own needs, dummy serve your own needs, feed it up an ox, speak, grunt, no strength, the ladder starts to clatter with fear, bite down, high wire and a fire, representatives engaged in the government for hire in a combat site, left to west and coming in a hurry with the furies breathing down your neck. Team by team reporters babble Trump, tethered crop, look at that, no plane, fine, then, overflow, population, common food, what it'll do, save yourself, serve yourself, world serves its own needs, listen to your heart, bleed, dummy with the rapture and the reverend and the right, you patriotic, slam, fight, bright, light, feeling, pretty sight, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world.
Oh, I love that so much. I just had to hit the chorus before we.
I know. Well, that's the whole point of the song is the chorus.
It is. Yeah, I know. But it's just those amazing lyrics. You know, I was in a band that we were discussing actually covering what REM song could we cover, and that one came up, and somebody was going to try. I can't believe anybody would try to do that song. Just to be able to spit out those lyrics perfectly.
If you talk really fast, nobody will know if you make a mistake
That's
or
probably
not.
true, yeah. And actually, you could probably just sort of make stuff up, improvise, and just, go for it. But since we're talking about music, I want to tell you about my very good friends, the Muddle. They're, as you remember, Kathy was in here just a few weeks ago playing, and Kathy in London, and the whole little trio is going to be playing at the Black Sheep Vineyard this coming Saturday night, which is a lovely venue. I've been out there many times. 7:30, and that should be a lot of fun. So if you're looking to do something fun, there's something you might want to consider on Saturday night. And speaking of fun and going out and stuff in safe, socially distanced ways, in places that that are mindful of such things, and yet understand that, hey, we all need to get out and do something, or we'll go crazy. So, my very good friends at Ogleby Institute's Towngate Theater are presenting a movie on Friday evening. And this is actually one of my top holiday movies of all time, Lola, because I'm so sentimental, But National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation will be, and honest to God, I watch this movie every year. I used to watch it with my kids, and it's just a tradition with me. So it would count if I went to Towngate and watched it. It's going to be on Friday night at 7:30, and it's a whole lot of fun to see a comedy in a theater with other people. And they're only going to sell so many seats. In fact, I'm not sure even what the tickets for the movies are $7, and you can purchase it at the door. So there is a charge. But what a great thing. You're going to get to see it on a big screen and with a lot of other people at an appropriately social distance manner, sitting in the theater with you. And so I think that should be a whole lot of fun. And by the way, for most of these movies, you can make it a dinner reservation, and it's catered by Charlie Schlegel, formerly of the Yield Alpha, and now with the Stratford Springs restaurant. But Charlie will be providing the catering, so the food's going to be good, and so you can make your dinner reservations in advance. That'll cost you $20. You got to do it by 5 o'clock Wednesday for this week's show. They got others. This is just one in the series, but that's the only one I'm going to tell you about because that's the only one you're going to remember. So, in fact, probably I would remember anyway. So, while we're at it, I walked in here today to the radio station, and there was food. Nobody told me.
Lots of
But,
food.
it looked like Thanksgiving, which is coming up. It's like a little more than a week away. I do want to tell you about this food, though. It was provided by Char House on the Boulevard, and I had never heard of them before, but it looks and smells
It's the
terrific.
old Ernie's, Esquire.
It's the old Ernie's,
Yeah, so
the
it's in
Char House.
Bethlehem.
Oh, Char House on the Boulevard. I get that. Well, they're offering everything you need for your Thanksgiving feast. You can pick it up on Thanksgiving Day by noon, and it'll already be warmed and it'll be ready to enjoy. And it's all going to be prepared by Chef Vince Paris. The feast will include sliced white and dark meat turkey. It's smoked right in-house, mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing and cranberry sauce, cornbread, green bean casserole, and pumpkin pie with whipped topping. I mean, that is everything you could ask for, and it's $20 a person. So if you're interested in this, just call the Char House on the Boulevard at 304-905-1873. Now, they would like your orders by this coming Friday, November 20th, in order to get it ready for you. But then all you have to do is go pick it up just in the morning on Thanksgiving Day. So again, that phone number, just in case you didn't get it, is 304-905-1873. A very good year. So there you go. 1873. Coming up on The Watchdog this week, sports goes on. Local high school football may be over, but there's lots of sports programming right here on The Watchdog. Starting with today, between 7 and 9 p.m. on WKKX, you can hear the Bob Huggins show. And Buckeye Roundtable will be over on WVLY. This will be from 6 to 8 p.m. This evening. Of course, tomorrow, as always, the Neil Brown press conference. That goes from noon to 1 p.m., and that's on both KKX and WVLY. And then we will have High School Sports Line on Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. on both radio stations. Neil Brown's radio show is on Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. on the Watchdog Network. Ryan Day's radio show is 8 to 9 p.m. on WVLY. And then on Friday, we've got the Metro News Game Night starting at 10 p.m., and that will go on just as ever. Now that, I suppose, will be sports, those will be football games in other parts of the state,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes.
And then Saturday, you can enjoy some college football because Indiana at OSU, that's at noon on WVLY. And Sunday, pro football, it's the Eagles at Browns, 1 p.m. right here on WKKX. So that's all the sports stuff coming up. And entertainment that I can think of, other than the fact that I have just finished binge watching the number one show in America last week, not probably this week, but last week was called The Queen's Gambit. Did you happen to watch this?
No, but Kaylee watched it, and she said it is really good.
It's stunning. It's really amazing. Now, The Queen's Gambit sounds like it might be something about royalty, but no, we'll get to that. Because the second item I want to discuss here is that The Crown has come back too, as of last night.
I know,
Yeah.
and I almost put it on when I got back at midnight. And I thought, no, if I do it, I will not sleep all night.
Yes,
so
you need sleep.
I didn't do it.
It deserves your attention without being sleepy. But yes, I'm looking forward to that. Well, that can deal with that fairly shortly. That's this year, The Crown, which is about Queen Elizabeth, and it's a historical drama. And now I think it's in its third season. Is that right? Third or fourth? Maybe fourth.
I think it's fourth.
Yeah, I think it is. And this year, this season, we get the era of Margaret Thatcher and Princess Diana. And so, I can just imagine. Yeah, it is the fourth season. So I haven't watched it yet. It just debuted last night, but I was finishing up with The Queen's Gambit. So what's The Queen's Gambit about? Well, it's Queen's Gambit is one of many terms in chess. In chess for a certain movement or strategy. And So there is no queen in it or anything, but it does star a really wonderful actor named Anya Taylor-Joy, and she is this chess genius who you meet first as a child, who has no training, and her mother. You find out quickly. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I want to set this up a little bit for you. Her mother, you find out, was mentally ill, but she was brilliant, if not a genius herself in math. Was a PhD in math, and but for some reason something happened, and her father disappears. She doesn't really know, and I'm not going to tell you,
No, don't tell.
but too much about this. But there's no father in the picture, and you do know this fairly early on, that she loses her mother and she's an orphan, and in an orphanage, while she's an orphan, she meets this school janitor who likes to play chess by himself in the basement, and she develops an interest and turns out to be amazingly good at it. And so it's a wild ride, and it's set in what starts out in the 1950s, and it basically works through her adult life in the 1960s. Actually, not really adult, but young, older teenage years through young adulthood, and her rise. And even if you don't know anything about chess, you don't really need to. It's just a wonderful ride. You get this. She has a sort of a Holly Golightly kind of an air,
Attitude, yeah.
And yet she's deeply disturbed, and she's drug addicted, and
She's a child of the 60s.
Yeah, right.
So-
And part of, she's drug addicted because of her institutionalization. She's put into, and I don't know how much truth there is to this, because this is kind of an alternate universe. This is entirely fiction. But when she's put into an orphanage, she's medicated, and that's how they sort of keep their charges and compliant. Right? Yeah. Thank you. Anyway, it's only 7 episodes long. I think it's a closed, it's a limited series. So check it out. It's on Netflix right now, The Queen's Gambit, and I would recommend it. So that's. And I am going to be moving on to The Crown, no doubt.
That's my weekend coming up.
Yeah, it's been really enjoyable so far. You know what I like, a similar series that I've liked even better is Victoria.
Yes.
You've been watching Victoria?
Yes. That is so good.
I really like Victoria. It's of the two, that's sort of the one I.
Well, that's coming back too, isn't it?
I believe it is, but I haven't read. And of course, I think a lot of these series might be delayed because of COVID, and they may, the productions, they might not.
Well, that's why Mrs. Maisel hasn't come back quite yet.
Yeah.
Which I love.
I do too. That's probably my favorite current comedy.
She is brilliant.
It is. It's just, and it's fast paced. It's set in a time period that is romanticized, but it's really great.
The guy playing Lenny Bruce is so good.
Oh, he is good. I've seen him in a few other things lately too, and he's a really good actor. She's a fantastic comedian too. She's just amazing. So yeah, when that comes, I'm going to look forward to that. I'm currently also, of course, in the middle of, what is this one called? Well, Fargo, definitely. Fargo is just amazing. Are you watching that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It is. I mean, Fargo is dark.
Yes, it is dark. Yes. So.
There was one season. I think it was last season. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But because Chris Rock was in this one, and believe me, you would not know. Well, his voice sounds the same, but don't assume that Chris Rock is Chris Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, he plays an entirely
Yeah, you've never seen Chris Rock like this.
And,
Chris Rock. And Jason Schwartzman too.
Yeah.
It's totally different than both comedians, but in dramatic roles that have some comedy to them. But yeah,
but I
But it's
can
dark
only do
comedy.
it. Yeah, I can only do it in 1 or 2 episode
Yeah,
increments. I can't sit and watch it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because it's really disturbing. And there's some really disturbed people in it.
There definitely are.
That
yeah,
nurse.
Yeah. The nurse is amazing, isn't she? The one who talks like she's from Fargo. Yeah. And she's she's very creepy and
Yes.
but there are a wide variety of characters. It is set in Kansas City in 1950, I think it is, and so and it has to do with crime families, basically, and
Not your typical
no,
crime families.
not at all. Now the Italians on one side of the particular dispute that most of this is centered around, but it's a black crime family on the other side.
And then you also
Prior
had a
to that,
Jewish one.
you had the Jewish one, and you
And
had
the
the
Irish.
Irish. I think in between the Jewish and the Italians, and the opening, the pilot or the opening episode shows you, and this bizarre ritual of in order to keep the peace, the eldest, or not the eldest, but one of the son, maybe it's the youngest son, the youngest son of the patriarch sends. They do a son exchange, so and that's supposed to keep the peace, and of course it doesn't. So they keep doing it for some reason, but it's very very entertaining too. And if you like black humor or dark humor, and this it doesn't not black in the sense of race. I'm talking different.
The Ipecac episodes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I watched that with my my wife, who's a nurse practitioner, and she's watching this woman administer Ipecac. I said, "What can that do to you?" So she explains to me. It's it can make you throw up. And
all you had to do was keep watching for about
there
5
it
minutes.
is. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. All right. Well, before we get to the top of the hour, I think it is important to at least acknowledge what is going on in the world as far as the president. He continues to not deny his loss, although it seemed like he was going to crack yesterday, just a little bit, but he walked it back really quickly. He did say in one morning tweet on Sunday, he said he won because the election was rigged. I like how he just arbitrarily capitalizes certain words too. But and then so people started, well, he won. That's the first time he's ever said he won. Referring to Biden. And then 90 minutes later, he's back on Twitter saying, "I concede nothing," all caps, nothing. We have a long way to go. So, all right. So clearly, the president is in denial. I think what are the stages of denial? I think it's, at least in Trump's case, it's denial, anger, and then denial, and then anger, and then denial and anger, and then anger and denial. We're just not getting anywhere with this because acceptance is supposed to come at some point, and so hard to tell, right? I mean, you don't have any special insight into this when he's going to finally admit that. Do you think he'll? I mean, some conjectures. Lola says that he'll do it by announcing that he's running in 2024.
Well, and he's already said he was going to make that announcement in all probability. Yeah. He can keep messing with this all he wants. The unfortunate thing is that progress can't be made. Yeah. And I don't know why that, like, the task force, his task force for COVID, can't just say, you know what, too bad. What can you do to me? I've lost my job already. I only have 6 more weeks of compensation left to go.
Right, yeah.
And just start working with the Biden team.
Yeah. Well, that's what you would hope he would do, and that's what everyone else has done, but he hasn't so far. And
well, Fauci has made it and somebody else, and and then you've got this idiot doctor that he has appointed, telling people in Michigan to, in essence, revolt, rise up, because the numbers up there are staggering. They're just staggering.
Yeah.
And, if you may not like wearing a mask and you may not like being able to go out, have you been sick? That's the question to ask yourself. Have you been sick? Have you had to go to the hospital?
Right, yeah.
And if your answer is no, then duh.
Yeah, maybe something's working here, yeah.
And it's terrible in the light of those militiamen, and I use that term loosely, wanting to kidnap her, having an active plot ready to go, and now you're telling people on top of the anger over the supposed rigged election to revolt against the protocols that they're trying to get back in place or stronger.
Right.
It's just nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is.
I don't know. It's just nuts.
I'll tell you what, if we bumped out like we bumped in, then it would be really appropriate. It's the end of the world. So yeah, that's, it is, it's crazy. And I think it's not going to, it would be settled down a lot if the president would just concede. I think that would help. It wouldn't settle everything. There was a huge demonstration of Trump supporters in Washington, D.C. over the weekend, mostly, pretty peaceful, mostly. Good. I'm glad they could do that. I'm glad I hope it made them feel better. It's not going to change anything, but, I get it. I think it's all right. Get it out of your system and deal with it, whatever it takes, But you've got to start cooperating with the next administration because it's dangerous. It puts our national security at risk. And so, get on with it. Announce your 2024 campaign. Rah, rah, yeah, make America great again, again, again. I think it's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back with my guest, Ron Scott from the Wheeling YWCA. You're listening to Butch Maxwell on the Watchdogs Afternoon Drive.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
A private ceremony. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
A U.S. official confirms that they're expecting orders by the end of the week to reduce American troop levels to 2,500 in Afghanistan and in Iraq by mid-January. This is in line with what President-elect Joe Biden supports as well. There are currently 4,500 U.S. troops in Afghanistan and 3,000 in Iraq. More hopeful vaccine news, but it doesn't speed up the clock.
The holidays are fast approaching, and for much of the country, it's been 8 months of restrictions and social distancing. And now word that a second vaccine candidate, the Moderna vaccine, appears highly effective against COVID-19. Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's wonderful news, but people shouldn't relax now.
We should not let the accomplishment of an effective vaccine have us feel we can let our guard down.
Preliminary data shows Moderna's vaccine is nearly 95% effective. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Wall Street's major indexes are strongly higher, partly on news of the vaccine. Native American officials in New Mexico say federal officials today suddenly closed an emergency room on tribal lands in Acoma. No reason given. Acoma Pueblo Governor Brian Vallow says the next medical care option is over an hour away.
I ask that the Indian Health Service honor and uphold its obligations and reinstate the health care.
You're listening to ABC News.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, because shed happens.
Grappling with rising COVID cases, a county with over 10 million people.
LA County has seen daily positivity numbers rise to about 3,000 every day in the past week. Rates are increasing, and now LA County supervisors are set to hear a number of proposals from county health leaders about what to do next. One option may be a curfew that would put limits on what people can do late at night when sometimes alcohol is involved and inhibitions may lessen. Another is possible limits on Thanksgiving celebrations with anybody outside of a household. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Another glass ceiling shattered as Kim Ng becomes general manager of the Miami Marlins, the first female GM in Major League Baseball. Ng saying she was interviewed for the job several times. Her advice?
It's all about hard work and perseverance and still remaining confident in yourself. I think that's one of the biggest things, that you can't just quit on yourself.
Imagine not being able to determine who the president of your country is. You don't have to imagine if you're in Peru. The answer so far is nobody. An interim leader, Manuel Merino, quit yesterday. Congress couldn't decide on his replacement. This is less than a week after legislators ignited a storm of protest by removing President Martin Vizcarra. He was an anti-corruption crusader, highly popular, and accused of bribery. Lawmakers today trying to figure out what to do next. This is ABC News.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Hey, man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey, Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
My little girl hurt her foot and needed a doctor fast, but her physician wasn't available, and I wanted her seen as soon as possible. Then I remembered the Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care, right in downtown Wheeling at the Stone Center on Market Plaza. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, the center is ideal if you have a sudden sickness or injury. The doctors and nurses were great, and they also provided x-rays, a pharmacy, and lab draw station. No appointments needed, and convenient parking is nearby. Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care. They'll take good care
For
of
all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8255. 8430 and add them on Facebook. Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the storm tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your start to the work week, mix of clouds and sunshine, a dry day, daytime high near 49. Overnight low of 37 degrees under partly cloudy skies. You'll see clouds, limited sunshine for your Tuesday with highs in the lower 40s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. The afternoon drive continues with more news, sports, and talk on The Watchdog.
Well, again, I had to let that one go because, after all, we did that for Michael Stipe doing his insanely quick rap. So there's Billy Joel's much more sanely paced thing. I could probably cover that, but don't want to. So you've stumbled upon Butch Maxwell hosting the afternoon drive here on the Watchdog Network, WKKX, WVOI, along with Lola Martin Miller, my esteemed producer, and my guest for this segment is Ron Scott, who is Cultural Diversity and Community Outreach Director at the Wheeling YWCA. Welcome back to the program, Ron. Nice to have you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Whenever I can come through, I absolutely love it.
I love to have you here, too. There's so much we can talk about, but I do know you've got a few things going on at a couple of initiatives that I want to make sure that we talk about first, because it's all about get the plug in first, right?
Right.
So what is happening?
Well, one of the first things that we got going on is kind of an innovative thing, in my opinion, because I hadn't seen anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
We teamed up with a group called Fundraising, right?
Fundraising, okay. Yeah.
And they send us like a gaming link. Mm-hmm. So if you click on this link, you get the opportunity to play like 9 different games. And they're kind of old school, like Atari kind of arcade games, like Tetris sort of stuff. Remind you like Burger Time and Dig Dug. And the more people that play using our link, it gives us more points. And at the end of the cycle, whoever has the most points, they get awarded $10,000. So the YWCA has the opportunity of winning $10,000
That'd be great.
if enough people get on the link and play the games. And it's nice, a little change of pace, little throwback kind of games,
So somebody could just pull up your smartphone right now and go to your favorite browser, Safari, Google Chrome, Edge, whatever, and type in the address, the URL for the Wheeling YWCA.
Right.
To get
and that's on our Facebook. Like we got it listed on our Facebook, it's on our Twitter, and it's on our website. If you go to any of those, you'll be able to see the link.
Yeah, you can.
And that link is specific to us. So if you hit it, whatever games you play, the points will all go towards us.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of unique because nowadays most folks are into gaming. Unfortunately, I'm a little too old and I can't really, I'm more of an Atari, maybe a Nintendo
I don't know.
guy.
I used to play Frogger a little,
See? That's my speed.
Yeah, right.
I can handle that.
Ms. Pac-Man.
Right.
That was my era of gaming. But, I had to go out and play those. I didn't have the phone thing.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that'd be fun. I think that sounds cool. See, you always got so many interesting things that the YWCA does. Yeah, so very simply, then just go to you just need to on Facebook, you would just search it for Wheeling YWCA.
Yes,
Is that right?
and the link's right there on our in our Facebook. I think it's like it'll probably be the first post that you encounter.
Okay.
It's on our Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And you'll see it. It says fundraising, and it has the link right there. You
Yeah.
hit it and just play to your heart's content.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll reap the benefits.
So
hopefully.
I suppose you download an app or something.
No, it just takes you.
It just
right
takes you
to
right
it.
there.
Yeah, because
Wow.
it's using so many old school games.
Yeah.
And nowadays,
Yeah, that's
you
right.
don't even need
You
an app
don't
for
need-
some of these
yeah.
sort of games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I wonder who thought of that. That's interesting. That might just be fun, just strictly from the nostalgic.
Yes, that's
perspective.
what I started. Because I tried one or two before I came
Did you?
over.
Yeah.
And it made me feel great. It felt like I was playing like old school Tetris.
Yeah,
That kind of stuff that I
right.
can actually play and
Yeah.
not feel like I'm a complete idiot because
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
where
right.
the 13 buttons, what they all control.
Right. Yeah. The kids you work with would probably wouldn't. They look at that. It's like,
Oh my
that's
God!
not-
You know how
yeah.
slow it probably
Yeah.
would seem to them.
Yeah.
My son shows me games where he's like, "Well, this button controls the direction his head moves.
Oh, yeah.
This button controls the direction he walks."
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I'm a 3-button guy. at
Yeah,
most.
I did used to play with my kids Mario Kart too. That was about the only thing I could really
Right,
accomplish.
I'm with you.
But even at that, it kind of scared me a little. It freaked me out a little bit. When my car would run off the road. It's like, Dad, it's just, it's not real. I know, but it just pains me to wreck
It
that car
seems
that way.
real, though.
Yeah.
Realer than the games I played. You couldn't even tell it was a car.
Yeah, right. It's true. Oh boy. So yeah. Well, I understand you've also extended your Martin Luther King initiative.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. This is something. It's been going on at the Y well before me. It's. I know it's over 20 years old.
Really?
And it started. It was just the Martin Luther King essay contest.
Okay.
And that was something that would. it
Oh
would
yeah,
be-
I've heard of this. It's been well publicized over the
Yes.
years. Yes.
And it's been local, and it goes throughout the entire state. And but when I came on at the Y coming on 4 years ago, we wanted to spruce it up a little bit. So now it's an essay contest along with a music contest and a 5-minute film contest.
Nice.
So we wanted to give, because nowadays the way that kids can express themselves creatively is just growing
Yeah,
so
it
much.
really has, yeah.
So we decided to open it up to that.
Yeah.
So now this will be the 3rd year that we've had all those components added as well.
Yeah.
So we're really hoping that it sprouts out into some new stuff. But of course, with the way that COVID has been affecting the school systems,
Right.
we haven't been necessarily getting all the entries that we were thinking we were going to get.
Sure. Yeah.
So the deadline was the 16th, and we did get some, but we decided to extend it till to November the 30th.
Okay.
And see if we can even get some more folks before we started the judging process.
Yeah. So here's the deal. What it sounds like to me, and I'm just hearing about this, is that the deadline would have been today, but it's been extended by about 2 weeks, and so even if I haven't started my little film project that I'm going to shoot with my video camera or my cell phone or
Yeah.
something like that. I could come up with something in 2 weeks that would be brilliant.
Most
I could do
definitely.
this.
Yes,
yeah.
you
Maybe
have
you can.
time.
Yeah,
You definitely have
Yeah, typically the entrants are school age.
Yes, when we open it, we have the full. We have from K to 12, and it's all broken up from K to 5 is their own division, 6 to 8 is their own division, and 9 to seniors are their own divisions.
Okay.
And that's from essays to music to everything.
Yeah.
And they can submit it. They can go through their schools. So all the schools have been informed about it. But again, with the way schools have been going, it's been tough. It's been hit or miss. I know for a lot of things.
Right. Sure.
But every superintendent, every principal, and every counselor has information about it. But
Okay.
if they did need more, they can always hit our website
Yeah.
and hit our Facebook up, and you can find out how you can enter.
Okay.
And more specifics. Because one of the things that we do every year for the contest is we use a quote to be the theme.
Okay.
And this year's quote, it was, "We may have all gotten here on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now." And I thought it was so fitting because of things that are just going on in the world
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
So whatever the essays that they write, whatever films they make, and whatever music they produce,
Yeah.
all has that theme in
Tie
mind.
that theme in.
Yeah,
that-
and we really got some creative stuff.
Well, that's great, and really that's what you kind of need too. One of the hardest things in any creative project is looking at the blank page or the blank easel, or picking up the instrument and not really knowing where to start.
Right.
But here you've given at least a theme, an idea. And,
Right. I want to start them off with something. And even
yeah.
the K through 5, Like not only when we send a packet out to them,
Mm-hmm.
we have the quote, of course, but we also have little prompts because I know it might be difficult to get a first and a second grader to really buy into what that quote means,
Yeah.
what it will say. So we
Yeah.
put little prompts in there
Yeah.
to help them write it too. And you'd be surprised. We have a lot of submissions in that age range too.
Yeah, I'll bet. You know, I think kids at that age can grasp an abstract or a metaphor is what it really is.
Right.
But
you give it to them right.
Yeah, if you give it to them in the right way, that's fantastic. And you know that is something that is you can do from home right now.
Yes.
It's a way to channel your energy. A lot of people are, trying to find something productive that they can do while they're social distancing.
Yeah, and that's why I thought that it would go the other direction. I thought we would have more entries than we would expect because, like you said, people just don't know what to do. They really don't have a whole lot of things to do.
Yeah.
But this at least gives you an opportunity because a lot of the folks that have made, because I've got to look at some of the submissions that we already got this year, and some of the film stuff, they're branching into animation and some of the things that they can do alone, or in a very small group, and the stuff that people are doing with music now, which I've always been so envious of. You know, if you can play or sing or any of that stuff musically, I've just always been your biggest fan, but I'm also in the back like,
I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
I get it.
And they showed me like some app that they will break down each like track that they can use, and they're just playing the piano in this track, and then they're doing the drums in this track, and then they're singing in this track, and this kid's doing it alone, like he's in his room by himself.
That's amazing. It is. And it's,
the avenues for creativity that young people have today it always blows my mind.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Is there any way that that you can share? I mean, when people make these submissions, does that become the do you know if this becomes the property of the YWCA or?
Well, we always put in the paperwork that it's something that we can use for promotion and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But we always can, because we try to highlight a lot of the winners. We do a little local ceremony.
Yeah.
We also do one in Charleston for the statewide winners, and they're always amazing. Like some of the ones, and not to just single out anybody in particular, but there's a Dr. Irvin from the area. He has a son went to Willing Park High School, and he's an amazing musician. And he had one of the musical entries that just blew me away completely. Like I remember re-looking and being like, all right, now did we accidentally send this to like some professional college sort of? But no, he's just that into the music.
That's fantastic.
And some of the films that we had a group of kids from Philadelphia about a year ago, and they did theirs in like a parody style, but they still like treated the subject with like the respect that it needed to be touched on.
That's difficult to do,
especially in middle school.
Yeah,
I never thought that they were doing that.
That's great.
Shout out to my doctor, Dr. Joe Donzella. It was his son. It was his group.
Yeah,
and I just was amazed that they could do that, and it just makes me happy. that they're creative in that way.
Sure,
because they could have just took it and kind of made fun of the whole idea.
Yeah,
but they didn't. They really made it enjoyable, and they added like these wild special effects in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's just, and I love it because they just went so far over the top that you had to laugh.
That's great. That's fantastic. And so ultimately these creative enterprises they do get exposed. They're not only helpful to the people who get a chance to express themselves through this, but it's not just something in a vacuum. It's going to be seen by other people. It's going to be shared if it's good enough, remarkable enough. So it seems like something well worth doing. One of the things because I dabble in a whole lot of things. I'm not sure I'm accomplished in anything, but is one of the big stumbling blocks for me creatively is there going to be a forum for this? Is this going to be, is there going to be an audience? And so I tend to write for or create for that which I can see through, and not, so that's why I don't really spend a lot of time writing, a screenplay for a major motion picture that, probably is not going to get done, but, so, but here's an opportunity. And so I'm really doing my best to stimulate whatever parents are out there, because I know there are not a lot of kids listening right now, but stimulating a lot of parents to talk to their kids that might be that anywhere in any age of school, from first grade clear up through senior in high school. Hey, here's something that would be fun to do. It would be you could learn a lot from it. It could get you exposed. You could use it as as a portfolio piece for college or something
because
like that.
state recognition is what we're all going to be working for in the end. And like I said, we're open K through 12, public, private, parochial, any kind of homeschooling. Anyone is eligible to be a part of this contest. And we'll review every entry and treat it as such.
And you talk with considerable intimacy about past entrants and stuff. So you've been pretty involved. In
I can't help but peek because I don't get myself involved in the judging.
Okay.
But I just can't help it when they start rolling in. I gotta read a couple, or maybe I try to watch all the films just so I can just check them out, and all the music I get to listen to, and it's really great because some of them you really see they're taking their time with this. And even if they're not taking their time, this is something that comes so naturally to them that it seems like they're taking their time. And those are the folks that I really need to. That's who you want to cultivate.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if there are parents listening, and you know you have that kid at home, and you know that they're a writer, you know that they're a singer, you know they have an eye for things like photography or film, just encourage them to do it. The worst that could happen is a whole bunch of people will see it.
Yeah. So once again, that theme, which I remember, but you could put it so much better. So give us
Oh, sure. Yeah. It is. We may have all come on different on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Yeah. And it's just a slick theme, and I think it fits well in the time that we're all we're all in stuff together right now, even if it seems like we're not.
Yeah, because these, and it does seem that way. These times are so divisive. We feel like we're just at odds all the time, and I hope that we're in for a period of healing. The president-elect has suggested that it's a time to heal, and I hope that is the case. But we all know it's not going to be overnight. Still, the more messages that we can get across that of unity,
exactly,
the better. Rather than focus on our divisions.
Yeah, I think that gets lost a lot. That it's the more messages.
Yeah.
Because I think people begin to look for a certain person or a certain group to say something. But I think if more people do, and it just becomes a resounding message from everyone.
Yeah.
And then I think it's a lot more effective if you realize everybody's saying this. Everybody's feeling this. Either I'm on board or what's wrong with me? Why is my experience different? And at least you start asking questions.
And that's the opening. I tell my students, I teach interpersonal communications, and tell my students a lot. If you when you don't know what to say, ask a question. Ask a question. People love to talk about themselves to begin with. And really, one thing you could do to somebody with whom you really disagree is to lean into that, to lean into it rather than back off. Say, well, that's interesting. Tell me more. How did you come up with that? And you don't necessarily have to challenge the other person. You just need to give them a forum because they want to speak. If you listen, they're going to respect you more. And I've come to believe that. That respect is so much more important than we give it credit for.
You're 100% correct, man. And that approach is so valuable because even if I know the answer of something, I really do like when someone else explains it to me, because you not only learn that answer, but you learn their perspective. And that's much more important than the information sometimes. If I know how you see the world and how you see issues, it's invaluable.
Yeah, it is. Then you can get around to sort of maybe bridging the gaps between us.
And I can learn you as a person. And I'm not necessarily worried about what your political affiliations might be or where you spend your evenings. I know you as a person. And I'm a person too, so at least we can relate on that.
Yes. So I think that is perfectly consistent within what Dr. King was trying to tell people too. Was we are. One of the ways that we've been divided so much is because we believe other people to be the other, and that and that my team, my people are one, and then they're. But we're all, and I know it sounds a little trite. We're all humanity, but we're all part of this. But really, if we need an enemy, we actually have one. Our enemy might well be our own environment. So that might be one way to, if we need to have a common enemy for all of humanity, then it is the encroaching environmental problem, regardless of who's, one of the worst things we can also get into as human beings is debate about the past wrongs. It's in almost every case, whatever, it's done. What's done is done. Why argue about that? Let's just move on. What do we do from the future?
I used to call them oppression Olympics. Somebody always wanted to win the oppression Olympics.
Yes, right.
And there's no need. Like, everybody loses.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Woe is me. No, let's just get on with it. What do we do to fix things? What do we do to move forward, to make things better, to make things right? And so there are two ways where you can make things right. First of all, parents, if you've got a kid in any age at all who has writing skills, musical skills, desires to be a filmmaker or an actor or a singer or any of that stuff, get them involved in doing something really good. Over the next couple of weeks, they can participate in this the program.
Yes. It's Martin Luther King essay, 5-minute film, or musical competition.
Yeah.
They can contact anyone in their school systems, and they have information on how to do it. Yeah. And if they do not, they can go to our website and our Facebook, and we have all the information there and how they can get involved.
And if you're tuning in late, that's the YW, Wheeling YWCA is what you want to look up on Facebook or on the web. And this is, my guest has been Ron Scott, who is the Cultural Diversity and Community Outreach Director for the Wheeling YWCA. Ron, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not kicking you out, but I imagine you have other things to do. And coming up in the next half hour, I've got a couple of other people from the Wheeling YWCA to speak with, one of whom is already here, Lori Jones and
good crew.
Jessica Ryan will be along, so we'll be talking to them in the next half hour. You are listening to Butch Maxwell on the Afternoon Drive here on the Watchdog Radio Network.
Save big during the Black Friday sales event at Thomas Auto Centers. Choose from over 80 in-stock certified pre-owned Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. Get a 2017 Grand Cherokee Limited, 25,000 miles, sunroof, and leather heated seats, just $29,900. Or a 2019 Cherokee Latitude Plus, only 19,000 miles and local trade-in, just $25,228 at Thomas Auto Centers.
Get the best deal. Thomas Auto Centers.
Ball Road, St. Clairsville. Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
Does this current crisis leave you wondering how to pay your bills? Well, a lot of people are struggling right now. I'm attorney Tom McIntyre. Call me today to schedule your telephone or video conference meeting, and I will send you a copy of my new book about bankruptcy, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Call 877-456-4155. Together, we will figure out what to do now and what to do when this is over. We will get through this together.
This week is Menard's last 11% rebate sale of 2020. Stop in for great savings. Get quality drinking water in your home with an under-counter water filtration system from Watts. It reduces lead, chlorine, and odor from your water. $64.99 after 11% rebate. Stop into Menard's for the last 11% rebate sale of 2020. Savings are good until November 25th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
For all of your IT needs, visit omniperforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. Governor Jim Justice says he's heard the criticism about his enhanced mask mandate. He says a lot of the rhetoric, some saying he's trying to squash personal rights, is not true.
We need to stop listening to this noise out of people that just want to take your money, to buy their campaign rhetoric, or want to absolutely just be relevant. Silly.
Justice spent the first 20 minutes of his media briefing today addressing the mask issue. You can read more and see a video of his comments right now at wvmetronews.com. The enhanced mandate requires masks to be worn at all times in public buildings, even if you can achieve social distancing. West Virginia Education Association President Dale Lee says the governor should order remote instruction for the rest of the calendar year for students across the state. Members of the state's coronavirus task force, including state coronavirus czar Dr. Clay Marsh and state health officer Dr. Ayn Amjad, say there would be issues with that.
Nothing can be off the table, but I have talked with several school nurses who also say that young children are safer in the classrooms if protocols are followed.
The governor has announced the first 3 days of the week after Thanksgiving will be remote learning for all to cut down on any possible spread caused by the holiday. Power is back on in the Saberton section of Morgantown after a house fire earlier today threw off several thousand customers. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The outbreak of COVID-19 cases has worsened at the Stevens Correctional Center in McDowell County. There are now 254 inmates that have tested positive and 28 staff members. Stevens is located in Welch. The Big 12 Conference announcing today it will exercise its 6-day window before it sets a time for the football game in Morgantown coming up between WVU and Oklahoma. That's scheduled for the Saturday after Thanksgiving, November 28th, so no game time until next weekend. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Hi, this is Chris Lawrence from the Metro News News Team. I have all the important regional news throughout the morning right here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Listen and stay informed right here.
On the floors of Tokyo, down in London town to go. With the record selection and the mirror's reflection, I'm dancing with myself. When there's no one else inside, in the crowded lonely night. Well, I wait so long for my love vibration, and I'm dancing with myself. Dancing with myself. Dancing with myself. When there's nothing to lose and there's nothing to prove, but I'm dancing with myself.
That takes me back to my M80s days. Oh, so long ago, way back in March last year. But
In the olden days.
In the olden
In
days.
the
Although
olden-
we haven't done that song in quite some time. But you're listening to The Watchdog Afternoon Drive with Butch Maxwell hosting. And my guest this afternoon Ron Scott was just here from the Wheeling YWCA, and I have Lori Jones here, the executive director of the Wheeling YWCA. And on the phone line, is Jessica Ryan, who is the executive director of the United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
We're doing well.
We're well. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, so good to talk with you. I imagine we're coming into a very busy season for the United Way.
Oh, for sure. We kicked off our campaign in early September.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
So we gear up all summer long to launch that campaign. So we launched it in September, and now we are just following up and reaching out to new companies and trying to let people know how important it is to give right now.
So so we're talking about the general campaign, which as I recall, when I was like a full-time employee of places, usually we got a solicitation near the end of the year. Something like that, and a lot of times corporations will do a matching gift too. So if an employee says, "Yeah, I'll give you $2 a week or $5 a week or something like that," then you get a matching gift. Sometimes is that the sort of thing that's going on?
Yeah, that's still the case. That's about a third of our campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Our employee payroll deduction campaigns are what you were talking about. And some corporations do match either a percentage or a full amount match.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some of our biggest givers, and we certainly appreciate that.
Yeah.
But the majority of the companies that we work with just give incentives for their employees to give.
Okay.
So just something like, if you sign up $1 a paycheck, then you can get put into a drawing to win a gift card or a paid day off.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That's the normal amount of corporate partnership that we have.
Yeah.
And then we do corporate donations, and once upon a time we did a lot of fundraisers.
Yeah, you can't do those fundraisers so much anymore. Everybody's run into that. I know that can be difficult. But aside from that, I know that the United Way is also involved in some other things, like there's a toy lift, I think, that Lori was describing to me a little while ago.
Yeah, that's one of the projects that we had a call from the police chief not too long ago. I guess we're going on our third year, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he said that this was something that was very successful in the job that he used to work. I believe he was in maybe Virginia, and he loved it. And the very first year that we had it, it was amazing. And one of my favorite parts about it is that it's the police chief in Wheeling and the Belmont County Sheriff's Department are the ones who have the discussions and get everything rolling.
Oh,
and I just love when we cross the river that way.
That is great.
And essentially, it's a toy drive,
Mm-hmm.
but we take monetary donations too.
Okay.
When you're coming up on a bunch of toy drives now around the holidays, you think about a typical toy that somebody would donate, you're hitting an age range that's probably maybe 2 years old to 8, maybe 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole demographic in that 10 to 13, 14-year-old range that really don't receive a whole lot of toy donations.
Yeah.
So any monetary donations we get through the program, because we're the fiscal agent of the toy lift,
Mm-hmm.
those donations go to kids that age
Okay.
to get them stuff to make sure they have a good Christmas as well.
Yeah. What kind of restrictions are on toys that can be donated?
They just have to be new
Mm-hmm.
and packaged and wrapped.
Okay.
Right now, we're in the discussion of talking about how to sanitize, which type of things we need to sanitize to make sure that the volunteers that are collecting them, the people that are donating them, all of those hands that touch it before it goes out to a family. We just want to make sure that we're being very safe right now.
Boy, this era is so full of challenges, and God bless you for taking care of that and thinking of all of that. That's wonderful. And so, if people want to donate toys to the toy lift, how would they do that?
It's December 5th, and
Mm-hmm.
it's at the Ohio Valley Mall.
Oh.
The reason it's called the toy lift is that they have a lift truck, and they put local celebrities up into the lift truck, and they wave just to kind of attract attention to the area.
Oh, okay.
And the way that it's always been set up is it's a drive-through drop-off. So essentially, you can just drive through, pop your trunk. The policeman and the policeman and the sheriff will come in and take the toys, and they put them in a truck. And we thank you, and you go on your way. There'll be music. there. It's not a place for people necessarily to gather, but it will definitely be a warm welcoming when you come through.
That's good, yeah. So just come, drop by, drop off the toy, enjoy seeing the celebrity lift. Who knows, maybe they'll get Bill DeFabio up there on that lift.
It's possible.
Yeah, yeah. So.
What time is the drop-off, Jess?
I believe it's from 10, it might be to 4, Lori. I'm checking right now as we talk about it. Maddie Taylor is our associate director, and she's been attending those meetings on my behalf and just keeping me up to speed on what's going on and what it looks like. But I believe it's till 4.
And if I couldn't get there on the 5th, can I drop them off at the United Way?
Well, if you can't get there on the 5th and you want to drop them off after, we are actually set up if you go into the Ohio Valley Mall, the offices are on your right if you go in that back entrance. And on the left, there's a community room, and right before that, there's a sheriff's department room. We turned that place into a makeshift toy store, so we continue to take donations there the week after the toy lift. And then after that, we have to make sure that we're getting all of the toys out. Oftentimes, we have some left over, if you can even believe it, because it's such a huge success. But we have to reach out to all the agencies and churches and 501c3s in the area that have clients that need toys to make their Christmases bright. So we have to have all of that set up in enough time to get everything in everyone's hands. So we try to just kind of condense it to the week after.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So that is, the date once again is Saturday, did you say?
December 5th.
December 5th. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's at the Ohio Valley Mall at about, starting at 2 o'clock?
10.
10 o'clock. All right, yep.
10 o'clock, yeah. And they, like I said, they have it set up in the parking lot. You cannot miss it. And I did double check. It is 10 to 4.
Yeah.
But you can't miss it. When you drive up, you'll see it as you come in. You can, as long as everything is new, no wrapping paper. We need to be able to see what's there.
Okay.
When we set up our fun makeshift toy store, we put all the dolls in this section, all the cars in this section, all the Legos in this section. And then when nonprofits come in to fill orders, it's almost like a giving tree where they have a X number old child, this is the sex of the child, they prefer the color pink, and they like dolls. Well, then we go right to that section and fill that order and send a good Christmas to that family.
Wow. And you staff this with entirely with volunteers to do this?
It is completely staffed with volunteers. We help some of the other nonprofits come in and help us set up, but it's actually super fun to go shopping.
I'll bet. I'll bet. I'll bet although I'm sure you still accept volunteers, but for that. But it just seems like that would be something that really gets you into the Christmas spirit. You're doing something for the community, and it's so connected, and it's united. It says just like the United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley. It's kind of uniting the valley because it's both sides of the river. So that's fantastic.
It is, and a lot of these families obviously are unfortunately in a place where they can't provide a good Christmas for their children, and it's very sweet and humbling to see the requests that they're asking for. A lot of these kids aren't asking for the newest Xbox or the newest iPhone. Sometimes it's a coloring book and crayons or a board game so I can play with my family.
Yeah.
And they're very, very sweet requests.
They are.
Well, and this year's going to be harder than a lot of other years because of COVID and the people who are out of work and all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity to go and donate a toy, I recommend that you do.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, Jess.
Yeah. No, that's good.
No, I agree with all of that.
Lori's been my co-interviewer here, so I appreciate that. No, don't, please. That's great. You asked some good questions. You're doing some food drives too. My spies tell me.
Yeah, we have been working with Information Helpline for years and years, long before I started with the United Way. Wheeling Island Hotel Casino Racetrack does a turkey and ham giveaway for, I don't know if it's their platinum members, but very, very good members that go over to Wheeling Island consistently.
Yeah.
And they give turkeys for Thanksgiving, hams for Christmas. And they've always been able to order an influx of those and give them out to nonprofits in the area. And they've given us a decent bit in the past. Well, obviously, with them being shut down and being, I think, a third of their capacity of their employees, it's just not up to speed anymore. So while they're still going to do that, it'll be on a smaller scale. And we've always done some fundraising for this program, but we're really trying, because we know the need for families is going to be higher this year, we're really trying to let people know that if you can afford it at all, please consider donating to this. We just just call it the holiday feeding program. And it'll feed families at Thanksgiving and at Christmas. And in the past, it's been between 200 and 300 families when we were able to provide them with that food. But it's really based on budget. So we can give out what we raise for that program. And normally it's just a couple days before Thanksgiving is when they give out the turkeys and the fixins. So we try to do potatoes and stuffing and noodles and rolls and things that families can pick up so they can make a traditional Thanksgiving dinner with their families, which is really important now as long as we're being safe and social distancing and all of that. Thanksgiving, it's really tough. A lot of people are having a hard time being thankful right now.
Oh, yeah.
So this year especially, we want to make sure that we're able to get people who are able to, in a healthy way, gather around the table and give thanks.
Yeah, that's great. That's an amazing mission.
Now, Jess, how many United Way agencies are there?
There are 24 United Way agencies, and we serve about 40 programs.
But if I'm not a United Way agency, can I still benefit from some of the things that the United Way offers?
Yeah, absolutely. We're the community of giving program in general. So, for example, we had a big gas and oil company that came to the area, and they weren't able to support the United Way because they gave on a corporate level to United Way Worldwide, which we obviously very much appreciate. But about at that time when we had that conversation, the woman was ready to jump off the phone with me. And I said, well, wait a minute. Do you know this community? What do you like to give to? Let me hook you up with some different places that you can give if you can't give to United Way. And then we had a discussion, and we talked about the different programs that her company really supports, and I was able to give her some contacts because they didn't have local contacts here. So we're really a giving plan for the community, and any big company that comes into the area, we're going to give them a call, and if they don't donate through us, that's fine as long as they give back to our community, and we're happy to have those conversations. Another thing is that when people need a place to volunteer or want to spend some community service hours, we get those phone calls, and we're able to reach out to the community at large and try to place them in specific places. A lot have requests of exactly what type of organization or what kind of job they'd like to do, and we're able to pick up the phone and call. Now, we do offer that to our member agencies first to see if they need anything done, but we have a whole bank of nonprofits that we support through our Day of Caring, which is the biggest volunteer day in the Upper Ohio Valley in the past. This year is a little bit smaller scale. But yeah, so we can have those type of conversations. Also, we have employed a community impact grant writer. She has been with United Way for years. It's Tina Morris. She's fantastic. And we cover the cost of her contracts, but she is able to consult with any 501c3 in the Upper Ohio Valley. So a United Way agency, a non-United Way agency, anyone who's looking for some grant funding or even some consulting, we can hook them up with Tina, and we cover that expense.
Now, why wasn't she doing this when I was working in nonprofits?
I know, but we're glad she is now, for sure.
That's great. Yeah, I had a development director who was very good, but and her chief job was trying to write grants. But one of the big problems was trying to find grant sources and things like that. You know, that's very challenging. So I'm well familiar with that. Yeah, you mentioned a Day of Caring. When is that?
It's the second Wednesday in September every year.
Okay.
We just haven't been able, where we were able to have it this year, but it was much smaller scale.
Sure.
Last year, ironically, was, we believe, the biggest that we had almost 400 volunteers. This year we had 80. So it was small but mighty. Those who could volunteer in a very safe capacity. A lot of programs were outdoors this year. They were able to give some TLC to agencies who need it. It really is a day for volunteers and donors in the community to appreciate agencies that have worked all year long and to help them with stuff, because Lori can attest to this. You serve people. If there's some paint peeling on your wall, you're not going to take people away from serving people to paint a wall. So on Day of Caring, that's when volunteers can come and give that love to the agency, give them the love back that they give all year long.
Okay, that's an excellent example, because I was going to ask you to sort of explain what sort of help your volunteer force does for the Day of Caring, and that's
all kinds of things. Yeah. They have cleaned out basements. They have planted flowers and cut down trees and replaced roofs. At least they did one of our roofs at one of our local houses. So, yeah, Jess, you guys do a great job of coordinating all of those volunteers on your limited staff.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
One of the other things that they've done this year is a huge support for PPE.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. So tell us about that.
Well, that's a perfect example of how the United Way works. If there's a company who supports a specific nonprofit, we support that they do that. We want people to give back to an organization that's near and dear to your heart. And my hope for the Valley is that everybody has that type of organization that really pulls on their heartstrings, makes them feel good about giving and volunteering. But when we're talking about having the United Way, what we can do is be that giving plan for somebody and be able to reach out to people by the masses and support them. So AEP is one that they fund the United Way, and then they realize that we can pass that along to our agencies. So for something like the COVID, when that hit, when we had a community impacts recovery fund, AEP gave us $10,000 because they knew that we would then find the best place for that $10,000 to go and send it back out to the community. That's what we did. We did also with the PPE grant. They ended up giving us $9,000, and then we reached out to nonprofits and said, okay, what do you need? We'll order stuff for you. Masks, gloves, sanitizer, spray, whatever anybody needed, we were able to order in bulk and then pass it out to the agencies. It takes the workload off of a place like AEP that's trying to keep people's lights on and makes it come down to us where we have those contacts and those relationships. And then I was able to have a conversation with Lori, for example, and one of the tough parts about COVID coming through for all companies is trying to keep up with sanitation.
Yes.
And we were happy and thrilled to be able to partner with AEP to relieve a lot of that stress off of the agencies, because that's a financial budget line that went through the roof. Some places, obviously double, but triple, quadruple, 10 times, 100 times what it was in the past. So it was really nice that we were able to alleviate some of that stress from the agencies.
That's fantastic, and an unsung story of how your agency, how the United Way helps in this unprecedented crisis too.
And when we were talking earlier about our employee campaign, Covestro is a really supportive campaign of ours, and Jeff Emerson is a wonderful, wonderful man, and he decided to take that campaign under his wing and really help grow it within Covestro. And his pitch was, I want to give back, and I like this community, but I don't know specifically where to go. I don't know where my dollars go the furthest. I don't have a specific agency that I'm close to. So I give my money to the United Way, and the United Way makes sure that it goes to where it needs to go. They do the checks and balances, the quarterly reports, to make sure that there are outcomes coming from the programs that we're supporting and that donor dollars are being spent appropriately. So that, again, is another way, just like AEP, where we can be helpful for people that want to give and they don't know where to give. Oftentimes, if they don't know where to give, they end up just not giving. But if they give through the United Way, then it's going to go out to the toughest programs in the community.
Right. Yeah. Where the need is the greatest. That's That's great. I really appreciate your taking the time to talk to us. One of the things that kind of surprised me when Lori walked into the studio today was she brought me a sign. For those of you who might be watching on our limited feed, I'm going to hold it up for the camera. But for the vast majority of you who are not watching this on Facebook, it says, we support, and then diversity, very large, all caps, and then inclusion, again, very large, all caps. So we support diversity and inclusion, eliminating racism, empowering women, YWCA. Tell me about these signs, Lori.
Well, we're having a sign campaign, and they're yard signs. And you talked about AEP. I will tell you, AEP actually paid for us to have the signs printed. So thank you very much, AEP. And so we're selling them for $20 a sign. You can get them, again, on our Facebook page, ywcawheeling.org, or YWCA Wheeling Facebook page, or on our website, ywcawheeling.org. I can't speak today.
Oh, you're speaking very well.
Oh, thank you very much.
The words are going faster than your mouth.
Often. So yes, we're asking that you put a sign in your yard. Butch here is the second person in the city to have one.
And I'm putting it up as soon as I get home. And I'm proud to say, because yes, I mean, diversity and inclusion, absolutely. Who couldn't be for that?
Agreed. Well, you can go to our website, you can order a sign, you can sign the petition. You can watch our videos that have all of those things, the same theme behind all of it. I encourage everyone to do it.
Yes, please do. We'd love to turn the image around of the city. Actually, it doesn't. I don't know that it needs to be turned around, but encourage the spirit of inclusivity and diversity in the city of Wheeling, because we've made some great inroads.
We sure have. This year has been a good year for that.
It really has, and we're just going to continue to work. And putting out a sign in your yard showing what you support beyond just a politician. We're all tired of that now. Let's put out something that's really positive and shows shows that we've got our energy in the right focus. So,
I appreciate it. Yeah, take your signs down, your political signs, and put these signs up.
Put these signs up. Say, here's what I support now. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, so to do this, let's
YWCAWheeling.org or YWCA Wheeling Facebook page.
His Facebook page, and you'll get your own sign, and it has everybody gets the actual thing to
the wires that go into the ground.
Wires that go into the ground.
Yeah.
So unless we get winds like we did yesterday, then
If you order up to 5, I will deliver them to your house.
There you go. All right, up to 5. So $20 a piece, $100. You'll get to see Lori in person, and it would be worth it, for a C-note to see this lady come in your house.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Jessica, you're still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, great. Thanks for hanging in. I really appreciate your taking the time today to talk to us and let us know about this. And I wish you all the luck with the food drives, the United Way General Drive, and of course the toy lift coming up on Saturday, December 5th. If you want to drop off a nice toy, don't wrap it up. Just take them out a new toy to the Ohio Valley Mall on Saturday, December 5th, anytime after 10 a.m. Right?
Perfect.
And there you go.
Great.
And if you're not going to do that, well, even if you do that, don't forget to pick up your own sign for supporting the YWCA. We support diversity and inclusion. What a great theme.
Thank you, Butch.
All right. Thank you, ladies, very much for joining us. And do stick around for the next half hour, or actually the next hour, where my musical guest is Jeremiah Welch. You're listening to Butch Maxwell on The Watchdog.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Smooth transition is necessary for the country to defeat COVID, says President-elect Joe Biden after talks with business and labor leaders in Wilmington, Delaware.
Everyone on our call today and our Zoom today agreed that the sooner we have access to the administration's distribution plan, the sooner this transition would be smoothly moved forward.
Biden holding the talk about his administration's economic recovery plan. This intention by Stephen Hoag, president of Moderna Therapeutics, announcing its COVID vaccine tests showing an almost 95% effectiveness.
We hope to be able to deliver up to 20 million doses of the vaccine by the end of this year, this calendar year in December, and then many tens of millions of doses per month during 2021.
Moderna applying for an emergency FDA okay. Wall Street reacting with rallies. California's governor announcing more restrictions in 41 counties in the most severe surge category.
November is well on track to become the country's worst month on record for COVID-19 cases, with over 1.8 million cases reported this month already in the U.S. In 6 days, the U.S. went from 10 million cases to 11 million. Today, the COVID Tracking Project reporting cases are up in all 50 states. Hospitalizations are rising in 49 states. The only state reporting a flat hospitalization rate is South Carolina. Deaths from COVID-19 are rising today in 31 states. Alex Stone, ABC News.
President Trump planning to cut the number of U.S. troops in 2 countries. ABC's Andy Field in Washington.
There are still 4,500 U.S. troops left in Afghanistan. The U.S. military says it will cut that number to 2,500 by mid-January. President-elect Biden has supported keeping a small American force there. President Trump has long called to bring all U.S. troops back from Afghanistan and Iraq.
This as violence in Afghanistan has been on the upswing. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician.
If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Whatever you send through the U.S. Postal Service this season is so much more than mail or packages. In every carrier's hands is a card with your handwriting. In every box, on every truck, is your message that you care. We know how much goes into your holiday mail, especially this year, which is why we go the distance to bring you closer. Learn more at USPS.com/closer.
With Thanksgiving coming, demands high for coronavirus tests. ABC News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Jennifer Ashton says look for facilities with results in 24 to 48 hours and be prepared for false negatives or positives.
PCR is considered the gold standard, but it's not perfect and should not be used in someone we know who's had COVID, because you can pick up viral debris and that doesn't necessarily mean they're actively infected, although people have been reinfected with COVID.
Not dead yet. The court case of this former NBA Knicks star.
Charles Oakley is involved in something. They need security.
After Charles Oakley was tossed from Madison Square Garden in February 2017, he sued the arena and Knicks owner James Dolan for assault and battery. A federal court rejected it, but an appellate court revived the case, saying the former Knicks star has an actionable claim that security guards used excessive force in removing him from his seat. In a statement, Oakley said he was appreciative of the ruling and now has a chance to show the world what I said from day one was true. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
If you were a parrot and the heaviest bird that can't fly, that only comes out at night and is longest living, would you not want the honor, twice in your long life, to be named New Zealand's Bird of the Year? That's the kakapo. Conservation efforts have led to a resurgence in the endangered kakapo population. Other than congrats, no word what else the bird gets. This is ABC News.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Okay, class, let's bump it up to 9.
Come on, Limu, keep pedaling. We got to build our endurance to let more people know that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Pick up the pace, bird legs.
Hey, don't talk to Limu like that.
I'm not, I'm talking to you.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
The original Undo's in Benwood is the perfect place to enjoy the big game, great food, and the company around you. The outdoor patio is the best kept secret in Marshall County, featuring plenty of big screen HD TVs, an outdoor beer garden, and NFL and MLB packages so you don't miss a second of the action. With the holiday season fast approaching, don't forget about Undo's Catering. Perfect for holiday parties, family gatherings, conferences, weddings, or any event large or small. Check out undos.com for menus, specials, entertainment, and more. Undo's Family Restaurants, family owned since 1953.
Toyota-thon is on. Now's the best time to visit your Toyota dealer and to save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of. Like an off-road ready 21 4Runner, a 21 Tacoma, or a 21 RAV with available all-wheel drive. All with $1,000 cash back from Toyota. Take $1,000 back on a 21 gas model Corolla or $1,500 on a hybrid. Or a Highlander with seating for 8 and take up to $2,500 cash back. Take $2,000 cash back on a sporty new 2020 gas model Camry or $3,000 on a hybrid model Camry. Visit buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals, to check out inventory, build your own Toyota, and to find a dealer near you. All to help make buying or leasing your next Toyota easy and affordable. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers exclude TRD Pro models and hybrid offers vary. See your dealer for details. Toyota-thon is on, so hurry, go see your Toyota dealer today. Offers end November 30th. Toyota, let's go places.
Throughout the Ohio Valley, back to school is looking different. Each day, parents, teachers, students, coaches, and administrators are finding solutions to situations that are unprecedented. All of us at the Highlands appreciate everything you are doing and are here for the items you need. Visit hitthehighlands.com for the current guidelines and updated contact information of our retailers and restaurants.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your start to the work week, mix of clouds and sunshine, a dry day, daytime high near 49. Overnight low of 37 degrees under partly cloudy skies. You'll see clouds, limited sunshine for your Tuesday, with highs in the lower 40s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. The afternoon drive continues with more news, sports, and talk on the Watchdog.
So hard living with the things you do to me. My things are getting so strange. I like to tell you everything I see.
Oh, I see a man in the back. As a matter of fact, his eyes are as red as the sun. And the girl in the corner, let no one ignore her, 'cause she thinks she's the passionate one.
Oh, yeah, it was like lightning. Everybody was frightening, and the music was soothing, and they all started grooving. And the man at the back said, everyone attack, and it turned into a ballroom blitz. And the girl in the corner said, boy, I want the money, it'll turn into a ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz, ballroom blitz, ballroom blitz.
All right. Barroom Blitz. I haven't heard that in years. I don't know what made you think of playing that, but that's awesome.
We're doing all that kind of stuff.
It just kind of
I
rowdy.
got one last good one.
All right.
For the bottom of the hour.
All right. Well, we'll want to stay tuned for that. You've stumbled upon the afternoon drive on the Watchdog Network with host Butch Maxwell today. And I will be here on Friday again because football is over. And so that means they can have somebody totally unqualified to talk about football on Friday. So I will be here on Friday to do that. But something that I am somewhat qualified for is music, in that I toy with it too. So I like to, on Mondays, bring in, for the last hour, a musician, preferably someone who can perform on his or her own, because we've just got a very small studio here. And today I've got Jeremiah Welsh. Jeremiah Welsh, and he is from the band The Pussyfooters. And I'm really pleased to have you. Jeremiah, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in. The Pussyfooters have been around for, 7 years, you say?
Yeah, we started out under a different name, but I ballpark it around 7 years.
About 7 years. That's a long time for a rock band, you know,
right?
The average. Okay, you need to get a little closer to your mic, and then that'll be, this is just like, like the sound men always say, you don't eat the mic, but get really close to it. Yeah, that's kind of the idea here. Yeah, so unfortunately, there's not much to promote as far as your upcoming gigs, but what we do have is some good original music that you've brought for us, right?
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see about that.
Oh, okay, some original music.
It's
all right?
original.
All right,
yeah,
all right.
Original.
We'll go with that. I had one of the things that I did. My first band way back in the '80s was did primarily original music.
Awesome.
It was unheard of in those days. What do you mean you're playing, original music? Yeah, yes.
Right.
But yeah, we did it, and
awesome.
And we were sort of proud of that. But
yeah, I need to hear some of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, I've got recordings, although they're 40 years old, but
right.
So yeah, but today it's all about you. It's about you.
No.
I don't really, I'm sorry I even brought up my own history. So yeah, what do you got for us?
Play one now?
Yeah, please.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's good for the guitar there, should I?
Mhm.
I can be pretty loud sometimes.
Okay, well, if,
I'm not gonna blow
I'll just stand by, and if we need to make any gestures.
I'm not gonna blow anybody's car speakers out or anything.
Oh, we can hope.
Let's see. All right, this one is called, all right, this one here is called, There Weren't Nobody There But Me. Climb up the mountain and scream to the bottom. Look out, down below, ready and out, here I come. When I got to the bottom, there were nobody there but me. I said, is this the lowest of the lowest lows? I don't know, does anybody know? Well, I dug a little deeper, but there were nobody there but me. So down there at the bottom, I rested by the train tracks, caught the next train and never looked back. But on that train, you know, there were nobody there but me. So I heads for the engine, see if anyone will listen. And I says to the conductor, but there wasn't a conductor. 'Cause on that train, you know, there weren't nobody there but me. That makes for a long, lonesome ride. Makes for a long, lonesome ride. It never ends until it's time to say goodbye. Now on the other side, I know paradise is waiting, and I hope that I arrive on time and not late. And when I get there, I hope there is anybody there but me. Upon my arrival, they'll all be so excited. They'll say, it's good to see you, buddy. You look really good. I said to myself, because there weren't nobody there but me. They'll throw me a party, maybe teach me to dance. I can already dance, but not very good, 'cause it's hard to learn when there ain't nobody there but me. Oh, it makes for a long, lonesome dance. Makes for a long, lonesome dance that never ends, but in hapless circumstance. Now I'm at my destination and I'm back at the mountain. So I climb back up the mountain. I'm the king of the mountain. But up there, guess what? There ain't nobody there but me. So back at top the mountain, I scream back to the bottom. I said, look out, down below, ready or not, here I come. But down there, you know, there ain't nobody there but me. Oh, it makes for a long, lonesome dance. Makes for a long, lonesome ride. And it never ends till it's time to say goodbye. You know, and it never ends until it's time to say goodbye.
All right, very nice. Jeremiah Welch here on WKKX on the Afternoon Drive, Watchdog Network. Very nice. That's a song you wrote then?
Yes, sir, yeah.
What was your inspiration for that?
I don't really know. Like sometimes I remember writing stuff and sometimes I don't really remember writing stuff. It's
Okay.
it's a kind of relatively new one, but I don't really remember where that one came from.
All right, yeah.
It's just kind of about, that you're kind of on your own to a degree, you know what I mean? You're always kind of chasing something, but you end up back where you started from, and it's all like, it's just all alone along anyway, so, yeah, just kind of, there weren't nobody there but me, just that phrase, I think, is what
phrase,
started
yeah, sometimes a germinal idea just comes from a phrase. And
bad grammar.
Bad
grammar leads to
yeah, it's a rule in pop music to always have a bad grammar.
Right.
Ain't or something.
Yeah, you can't have grammatically correct rock and roll. Right.
Yeah, very good. It kind of puts me in mind. Of course, we're talking just acoustic guitar and single voice, so everything sort of sounds folky, but that does have a very folky, sort of organically folky sort of a sound.
Cool, thank you very much. Thanks.
Yeah. So what else can you play for us?
Let's see here. Find the lyrics here to something. I have a hard time remembering
my
lyrics.
That's part of it. So you're listening to Jeremiah Welch of the Pussyfooters and doing some original music here.
Might have to tune after this one, but we'll just play out of tune for now. That's what I usually do.
Yeah. Just play a little out of tune. That'll work. Yeah.
This one's called Nailing Jello to the Wall. I contemplate my place in the world. Picture my fate with you as my girl. We'll plant a little garden that we could harvest in the fall. Then my thoughts harden and my heart starts to stall. 'Cause I've grown so tired, try to nail Jello to the wall. So I sit on this bar stool and I contemplate. Am I just a bar fool? And is this my fate? There'll be no little garden, 'cause I'll be southbound by fall. I guess I'll be tardy to your winter ball. 'Cause I've grown so tired, I'm trying to nail Jello to the wall. It's nailing Jello to the wall. It'll just make a mess. It'll ruin your floors, and it'll ruin your dress. And I've just grown so tired, and it feels so absurd. With me as your man, and you as my girl. So I scribbled on a napkin to leave in your screen door. Said I don't know what happened, but I can't do this no more. I'm not cut out to be a farmer, it just isn't my call. Before we get any farther, it's the end of it all. 'Cause I've grown so tired, trying to nail Jello to the wall. So fill one hand with wishes, fill the other one with dirt. Report back to me which hand filled up first. Could have planted a little garden for us to harvest in the fall. But then your thoughts hardened, made my skin start to crawl. 'Cause I got so tired of trying to nail Jello to the wall. It's nailing Jello to the wall. It'll just make a mess, and it'll ruin your floors. Baby, it'll ruin your dress. And I've just grown so tired of feeling so absurd. With me as your man, and you as my girl. With me as your man, and you as my girl.
All right,
thank you.
Yeah, Jeremiah Welsh, original song, Nailing Jello to a Wall.
Nailing Jello to the Wall.
Yeah, very nice.
Thanks.
It's while you're tuning,
That sounds good. It definitely needs
to talk here for a minute anyway. You missed the food, by the way, Jeremiah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know.
Never called me late for dinner.
I came in early. Actually, the food was here, but I had just eaten, so I just really couldn't eat it. But it smelled terrific. We had food brought in today by Char House on the Boulevard, which is the new restaurant, which is up in the former Ernie's Esquire. Most locals will know that, so it's right there on Bethlehem Boulevard. They are offering everything you need for Thanksgiving Day. You can just go ahead and place your order today, and it'll be ready for you by Thanksgiving Day, on Thanksgiving Day by noon, and it's all the fixings you need. Both white and dark meat turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, cranberry sauce, cornbread, green bean casserole, and pumpkin pie with whipped topping, and that's all $20 a person. That's so they can do those dinner packs for you, but you do need to make your reservations before Friday. You want to call 304-905-1873. 905-1873. That's the Char House on the Boulevard, and this announcement was just in thanks of their providing food and feeding Lola Miller, because she needs the food. So, we do.
I work better with food.
Yes, she does. And arguably, well, I would say she works for food, but
that's about it.
That's about it. So yeah, we're spending this hour with musician, singer, guitarist, songwriter Jeremiah Welsh, who plays with the Pussyfooters when anybody is allowed to play. But right now, the times are tough. So we've got him here in the studio, and we appreciate your coming in and sharing your music with us, especially your original music.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me. Like you said, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
otherwise,
There's nowhere else to go. So,
otherwise, I'd just be in my basement.
Right.
And my family would be like, quiet down. Quiet down. That song again?
Well, great. Maybe you have another song you can do before we take a break at the bottom of that hour?
Let's see here. Oh, okay. Okay, this one has a bad word in it, but I'm gonna censor it. So
okay, yeah, please do. I don't want to hit the dump button.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Is there a delay? No, I'm just
no.
Let's see. Make sure I know what chord I'm in here. All right, so we are going to do a show at the Town Gate at some point. I don't know if the date will stick, but hopefully everyone can make it out there when that can happen. We're kind of try to do like a show, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not just a concert, but with like projections in the background and maybe some extras and costume changes and backdrops and kind of a little rock opera of sorts. But this is kind of one of the centerpieces of what that would be if it ever is.
If it happens. When it happens.
There you go. Here I am in the middle of the city. There's so many women, and they're all so pretty, but I'm so ugly. Now ain't that a pity? Just a small town boy in the big, big city. Here I am in the middle of the city. Found me a job, but the work is nitty gritty. The boss makes $1, and I'll make a penny for a small town boy in the big, big city. So here I am in the middle of the city. I found a honky-tonk that lets me play my ditties. I play for tips if you could spare $1.50 for a small town boy in the big, big city. So here I am in the middle of the city. There's so many women and they're all so pretty, but I'm so ugly. I ain't that a pity, just a small town boy in the big, big city. And here I am in the middle of the city. Finally found me a job, but they pay me pretty. And the boss makes $1, and I'll make a penny for a small town boy in the big, big city. So here I am in the middle of the city, but I found a honky-tonk that lets me play my little ditties. But I play for tips if you could spare $1.50 for a small town boy in the big, big city. Big city, bright lights, where you can dance all night. I can't dance, but I can try, 'cause you can dance if you can lie. So here I am in the middle of the city. There's so many women, they're all so pretty, but I'm so ugly. I ain't that a pity, just a small town boy in the big, big city. And here I am in the middle of the city. I found me a job, but the work is nitty gritty. The boss will make $1, and I'll just make a penny for a small town boy in the big, big city. So here I am in the middle of the city. I found a honky-tonk that lets me play my little ditties, but I play for tips if you could spare $1.50 for a small town boy, big, big city. Big city, bright lights, where you can dance all night. I can't dance, man, I could try, 'cause you can dance if you can lie. So here I am in the middle of the city. There's so many women and they're all so pretty, but I'm so ugly. I ain't that a pity, just a small town boy in the big, big city.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeremiah Welch, original song. What's it called?
Small town boy in the big, big city. I think working title. All titles are working.
Yeah, yeah. All right, yeah, that's good. Part of it, a
Until
larger.
they wind up on the radio.
What?
Until they wind up on the radio.
Yeah,
then
there you
I
go.
guess then you're stuck with that.
Yeah,
title.
well, you just did that. So now you're there. You're stuck.
I just did it.
All right, be sure and copyright this song. Okay, Jeremiah Welch is my guest this hour. You're listening to Butch Maxwell guest hosting today on the Watchdog Afternoon Drive program on WKKX, WVLY, and we'll be right back with more great live and local music with Jeremiah Welch.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
Island Pawnbrokers is now your local firearm dealer. In a pinch? Need cash quick? See us before going to the big box stores. Paying top dollar for firearms, gold, silver, tools, coins, and electronics. Don't lose your good credit. Let us give you instant cash. Stop by 2 North Broadway Street on Wheeling Island, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Island Pawnbrokers. Stop in for instant cash.
Toyota-thon is on. Now's the best time to visit your Toyota dealer and to save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of. Like an off-road ready 21 4Runner, a 21 Tacoma, or a 21 RAV with available all-wheel drive. All with $1,000 cash back from Toyota. Take $1,000 back on a 21 gas model Corolla or $1,500 on a hybrid. Or a Highlander with seating for 8 and take up to $2,500 cash back. Take $2,000 cash back on a sporty new 2020 gas model Camry or $3,000 on a hybrid model Camry. Visit buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals, to check out inventory, build your own Toyota, and to find a dealer near you. All to help make buying or leasing your next Toyota easy and affordable. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers exclude TRD Pro models and hybrid offers vary. See your dealer for details. Toyota-thon is on, so hurry, go see your Toyota dealer today. Offers end November 30th. Toyota, let's go places.
Throughout the Ohio Valley, back to school is looking different. Each day, parents, teachers, students, coaches, and administrators are finding solutions to situations that are unprecedented. All of us at the Highlands appreciate everything you are doing and are here for the items you need. Visit hitthehighlands.com for the current guidelines and updated contact information of our retailers and restaurants.
Save big during the Black Friday sales event at Thomas Auto Centers. Choose from over 80 in-stock certified pre-owned Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. Get a 2017 Grand Cherokee Limited, 25,000 miles, sunroof, and leather heated seats, just $29,900. Or a 2019 Cherokee Latitude Plus, only 19,000 miles and local trade-in, just $25,228 at Thomas Auto Centers.
Get the best deal. Thomas Auto Centers.
Ball Road, St. Clairsville.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
In a hurry and need to see a doctor? The Woodsdale Health Center and Walk-In Clinic is located across from Little Caesars on National Road. Open 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Patients can receive primary care, treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lab draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care of you.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Jeff Jenkins. U.S. Marshal Service says it believes it's located a Ritchie County man who's been missing since 1989. DNA samples have matched skeletal remains found in Ohio of that of John Paul Devon. He was on probation after killing his brother-in-law in 1982. He's been wanted since 1989. His remains are buried in an Ohio cemetery and had, up until now, been unidentified. Nursing homes across West Virginia will begin testing their staff members for COVID-19 twice a week, following a new mandate from Governor Jim Justice. West Virginia Healthcare Association Executive Director Marty Wright says the nursing home owners support the move.
As community spread's been rising in communities, so too has the impact on our long-term care facilities. It's really just a product of trying to isolate and identify those asymptomatic spread, which has been really the hardest thing throughout this pandemic to try to find.
Wright says tests will be used that will provide almost instant results. Some educators, including West Virginia Education Association President Del Lee, are calling on Governor Justice to place all West Virginia schools on remote instruction until after the Christmas break. Justice says that may not be the best idea.
You've got daycare to think about, you've got our kids to think about, you've got how well the virtual learning is really working, period.
Justice has called for the first 3 days of the week after Thanksgiving to be remote instruction statewide. You can read more at our website. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. There are now 254 inmates at the Stevens Prison in Welch with COVID-19. There are also 38 staff members there who have tested positive. The Boone County court system is being forced to close for the second time since the COVID-19 pandemic began. Word this afternoon from the state Supreme Court is the system will be closed until further notice because of COVID cases. Magistrates will be on call. Family court and circuit court in Boone County will hold proceedings by phone or virtually, and circuit clerk will be open by appointment only. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Hello, Ohio Valley. This is Kate Delaney inviting you to join me overnight here on The Watchdog. Whether it's talking to big names in entertainment or sports, discussing the latest political news, or just chatting about life, I'll be here to keep you company on the Watchdog, WVLY AM 1370, FM 97.7, or online at watchdognetwork.com.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control.
I remember doing the time war, drinking those moments when the blackness would hit me and the void would be calling. Let's do the time war again. Let's do the time war again.
It's just a jump
To the left. Oh, yeah. This brings back big memories. Gotta love
I
it.
thought it did. I thought it would.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
Definitely did. Oh, yeah. You're listening to the Afternoon Drive on the Watchdog. We're in the home stretch here with the last half hour. Butch Maxwell, along with Lola Martin Miller, as our producer. And my guest this hour is musician Jeremiah Welch, and he's been playing some very nice original music for us. And this is one of my favorite things about being able to do this this job here is not only to share my own ideas and thoughts and musings with the Ohio Valley, but also to hear yours, and especially to bring you some talented local musicians. So Jeremiah is definitely one of those. He's also a member of the Pussyfooters, too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Maybe you get a talented one next time.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's sounding really good so far. So what do you got for us next here?
Let's see here. This one's called Running Metaphor.
Oh.
And I might mess this one up, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, we won't know, because we've never heard it before.
Yeah, unless I just totally mangle a chord. Take the crow's path to the lion's share, and we'll wait for the bottom to drop out. Talking out of pocket, making a French exit until the wheels they all fall off. Riding dirty, I'm on the wrong end of 30, and I'm looking down the wrong end of a gun. Running metaphor, what are you running from? I fall when I dream, so I kick when I sleep, and sometimes I run like a dog. Chasing rabbits, I go over the crow's path, then I wake and think of you and I'll back off. To a poet's party, just you and me, overnight until the workday is all done. Running metaphor, what are you running from? We should have a plan where we will meet when the luck is all run out. We should have a plan where we just blood and wine and confusion. It's just blood and wine and confusion. It's just blood and wine and confusion. Put two words together, and they'll make a third. They predicate and subjugate. Then you must face it, what you've created, and yet meaning still escapes. So you whistle while you work, eating crow and dirt and chasing the moon around the sun. But running metaphor, what are you running from? We should have a plan where we will meet, when the luck it all runs out. We should have a plan, but when the luck runs out, when the luck it does run out, it's just blood and wine and confusion. It's just blood and wine and confusion. It's just blood and wine and confusion. Thank you.
Jeremiah Welch. That was my favorite one so far.
Oh, thank you.
I really like that one.
Thank you very much.
Just very poetic and
thanks.
Very, very interesting. Any story behind that song?
No.
No. Okay. I keep
I mean, that's
pressing
kind
for
of
that.
fit into the kind of rock opera
Yeah.
thing that we're trying to do. It's like it's kind of about writing and it's like about music. So
Yeah.
that's kind of about writing music.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
always kind of chasing the metaphor.
The metaphor,
It's always
you know.
running away from you. You know.
Yeah, and you were running in some I don't know exactly want to know the cliches, but common
Right,
places,
yes.
things that people say.
Right,
And,
right.
very. One of the things I like about it was that it's specificity, and sometimes that's really important in originality. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, there was a John Prine song, and I'm drawing a blank on which one, where, but he just, it's all cliches. It's all kind of stolen phrases. And
Yeah.
and I heard him say that song is, he literally just was writing all
Right,
the
yeah.
phrases, and then he put them all together, and that's kind of stole that idea from a little
Yeah,
bit too.
kind of cool though. Yeah. Oh, actually, it's much more artful than the way Meatloaf composes an album, which
Right.
Well, I guess it's Jim Steinman or something who wrote all the songs, but it's like how many cliches can you put together
Right.
in one album?
Yeah.
But no, that was very artful.
Thank you. Yeah, you got to know when to avoid the cliches and when to embrace them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So what? You got another song for us?
Yeah, surely.
Good.
Let's see. Let me scroll through my stuff here. All right, this is kind of another newer one too, if I can get through it. This one was fun writing. I got this line in my head, which is kind of cliche, but I could just hear it, kind of like a Motown song. Sometimes if I get the chorus first, I have a hard time. Like if I write the verse, it usually leads to the chorus.
Yeah.
If I write the chorus first, then I have hard time working my way backwards.
Yeah,
to it.
how do you-
So I posted this on Facebook, just the chorus, and then had all kinds of suggestions. So this was kind of like a group effort.
Kind of a crowdsourced thing, huh?
Yeah, kind of crowdsourced,
right.
and I don't think I gave any credit to whoever helped me with it.
Oh, no,
because
we're just asking for help,
Right,
know?
exactly, right.
Now you're right. Okay, great. You're listening to Jeremiah Welch.
like smoky old bar rooms. I like staying up late. I like smoky old bar tunes that I can't sing straight. So I take another sip and I take another shot, and I hope you're there when I get home, because you're all I got, baby, all I got. So baby, leave your porch light on. Baby, baby, leave your porch light on. Be out all night long, singing my songs, but I'll be home before the break of dawn. So baby, leave your porch light on. Baby, baby, leave your porch light on. I'll be out all night long, singing my songs, but I'll be home before the break of dawn, baby. I like seedy old honky-tonks. I like the songs that they hold. I like trying to stay young, but I keep on getting old. So a young woman winks, I give it no second thought, and I hope you left your door unlocked, 'cause you're all I got, and baby, all I got. So baby, leave your porch light on. Baby, baby, leave your porch light on. I'll be out all night long, singing my songs, but I'll be home before the break of dawn. So baby, leave your porch light on. Baby, baby, leave your porch light on. Be out all night long, singing my songs, but I'll be home before the break of dawn, baby. I like smoky old bar rooms. I like staying up late. I like them smoky old bar tunes, but I can't sing them straight. So I take another drink, and I take another shot, and I hope you're there when I get home, because you're all I got, baby, all I got. So baby, leave your porch light on. Baby, baby, leave your porch light on. Be out all night long, singing my songs, but I'll be home before the break of dawn. So baby, leave your porch light on. Baby, baby, leave your porch light on. Be out all night long, singing my songs, but I'll be home before the break of dawn, oh baby.
Yeah, I can see that very catchy chorus.
Thanks,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
That is my favorite. out of
That's your
all
favorite
the-
one?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank
very,
you.
Very accessible. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was kind of meant to be just kind of a sing-along, and I had
Yeah.
that sing-along part, and I was like, I don't know how to work my way backwards.
That was kind of good, though. You know, you said, I don't like this, I don't like that. I like this, I don't, that's
Right.
good. Yeah, very cool.
So,
Yeah.
people helped me write it, but I don't remember who. Actually, my friend Brock was like, you should go to the D minor. Oh, that's it. That's the whole thing right there.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's sometimes that's the brilliant turn.
That's
you have,
right.
So do you work with, have you collaborated with other songwriters before?
Yeah, for sure. I like to kind of be in my own space when I do it. You know what I mean? Just because I feel like pressure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
several times, someone will have some music or an idea, and then I'll kind of take it.
You can take it and then work on your own.
But otherwise, I kind of get.
Yeah,
kinda
it's an intimate thing. It's
for sure,
it's weird. I worked with the songwriting. Here I go talking about myself again. Sorry, I'll
No,
make
that's
it
all
brief.
right. No, go ahead.
I worked with a songwriting partner for many years, and we just had that one of those relationships where we just pick up each other's sentences, and it was amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
But I've never found that kind of collaboration ever since.
Right,
That
right.
one, it's just. And I thought, what? We can't do this? No, you can't. It's that was that. So it just sort of
that's
showed
tough.
that it's a special.
That's tough. I've worked with people, but I never really had a tandem like that.
Yeah,
Some of the other guys on the Pussyfooters write. Ryan is a good writer, and so he'll play some music, and he'd be like, you should do something with that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to ruin it.
Right.
It's good. What do you want me to do with it?
Yeah.
But, we've written one so far.
Oh, good.
I don't have that one really. I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Well, you have another song for us?
Surely. Let's see here.
Very much enjoying this. You're listening
Thank you very much.
My name is Butch Maxwell, and I'm hosting the afternoon drive today with my guest, Jeremiah Welch, who is also with the Pussyfooters, too. Pleased to hear some original music today.
This one is off. We do have a record out called "The Suspense Is Killing the Neighbors."
That's what it's called?
Yeah, that's what the
Suspense is Killing the
Suspense
Neighbors.
is Killing the Neighbors.
All right, cool title.
And this one, everything I played today is not on that record, but this one is.
Okay.
This one's called "The Party." Arrived at the party right on time, and everyone seems nice. They're mostly fools, and they're all laughing so hard they haven't heard the punchline. Haven't even heard the punchline. The men are few words, except for dirty jokes. And the holy women of gossip. So here I am standing in line, I'm counting my breaths. I do that sometimes. When I get nervous. And here I am standing in line for I don't know what. I do that sometimes. I guess it's just herd behavior. For the men are few words except for dirty jokes. And the holy women of gossip. And I want to thank you for my invitation. But I don't belong here. But I'm gonna enjoy my intoxication. And I'll be drinking all night long here. Now hold on, boys. I think she's looking at me, and she looks pretty good. And I think she's coming my way. And she says, hello, it's nice to meet you. And these are my friends. Come over here and say hello to them. The men are few words except for dirty jokes. And the holy women of gossip. And I want to thank you for my invitation. But I don't belong here. But I'm gonna enjoy my inebriation. Oh, and I'll be drinking all night long here. I arrived at the party right on time, and everyone seems pretty nice. Thank you.
Oh, I like that one too.
Thank you very much.
So that was on the album then, the
Yeah, that was on the
Pussyfooters album.
album,
Is that album available like on SoundCloud or anything like that? or
Spotify, all the places. Spotify, YouTube.
Okay.
All the places.
YouTube,
yeah.
Pandora, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, did you press it on vinyl or anything? Or the vinyl
No,
prints?
we thought about it, and then
It's expensive.
yes, that's exactly what happened.
I get it. I know.
Kind of
I know.
mind-blowingly expensive.
Yes.
We knew it was going to be expensive, but we didn't know it was going to be that expensive.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic.
One of these days.
Yeah.
The reissue of the
Yeah.
20th anniversary or something like
There you go. Yeah, you can have that.
that.
Remaster.
About how long I worked on it.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. My guest has been Jeremiah Welsh, and I appreciate your coming in, Jeremiah.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
We're just about out of time. I want to thank all of my guests today. Ron Scott, who's the Cultural Diversity and Community Outreach Director with the Wheeling YWCA, along with Lori Jones, who is the Executive Director of the Wheeling YWCA, and Jessica Ryan, who is the Executive Director of the United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley. I will be back, along with Lola Miller, I believe, on Friday, right here in this chair once again. I don't know, since I didn't know until I arrived at the station that I'm going to be here on Friday, but I'm glad to be here. So we'll see what guests I have coming up, and I'll promote that in advance. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. There would be no reason for me to be here without you out there, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. And once again, Jeremiah, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your music with the Ohio Valley. You're listening to The Watchdog. Do stay tuned. News coming right up.